Who's in the mood for a mystery? Here we have Patricia Davel's Redbubble store, joined in March 2021, 661 designs. And when I scroll down, we've actually got quite a few favorited. However, Patricia emailed me and she said she's hardly making any sales at all. I'm going to unpack why this might be in the next episode of Zen Water Cooler Mysteries. Stay tuned. You ever see that old TV show? It's called Murder, She Wrote. This is like Redbubble, He Wrote. So in this episode, I'm going to be talking about this store here, Patricia Davel. Now, Patricia reached out to me and she said, I'm just going to read the email here. Good day. I've watched all of your videos, including Crafty Stacks, and I enjoyed these. You're a great teacher and funny at the same time. Now, let me stop you right there, Patricia. If you think that flattery will get you anywhere with me, you're 1000% correct. I very much appreciate the kind words. Thank you. She says, I do have a request. I totally understand if you decline. I'm not going to decline. I'm happy to do this. I've been selling on Redbubble since March 31st, 2021. Minimal sales. Do you mind reviewing my shop? Okay, let's check this out. I'm happy to review the shop. Okay, so I'm first and foremost, I'm going to tell you what I think you're doing right, because it's really easy when you see a store that's not making a lot of sales and you think, man, I'm doing everything incorrectly. That's not true. First of all, store name, easy enough to understand. Love your face. That's great. Makes you look like a human being, which is wonderful. I love the banner. You've got mock-ups here in the banner, which is great. Welcome to my shop. I hope you enjoy your stay. Beautiful. One thing, it's totally kind of a tiny nitpicky thing, but if you're looking at little ways to improve your shop, one idea would be in this thumbnail right here, you could put your email address, for example. You'd put it could be a picture, but your picture would have a graphic and it would have your email address there, and people could email you with custom requests. That's just an idea. Hey, not a lot of people might email, but you might get the occasional custom request. That's pretty cool. Let's scroll on down here. We've got a featured collection, which I love. This is great. We got a featured collection here. You've got 661 designs. Considering that you've started in March and it's now like July, so we're talking April, May, June, July, like in 4 months, you've uploaded 661 designs. That's pretty amazing, if I'm being perfectly honest. That's more than a design a day. So let's take a look here at the collections. We've got hot air, living things, peeps, pleasant patterns. This says it all. Take action. I love this. I think you don't have too many collections. It's not like this is overwhelming for a new person coming in. You know, if I'm a new person, I come in, my eye is drawn to the banner, it's drawn to the store. So I think so far so good, right? So don't necessarily just like change everything because you're not getting a lot of sales. Let's check out now. I'm searching through most relevant. So if you're new, like I'm not only talking to Patricia in this podcast, but if you're new and you're watching this Redbubble podcast too, one thing you might wonder, like, well, how do I see what the quote unquote best selling designs are, or the best, most popular designs? Well, when I scroll down to the bottom, you'll see there's 1,583 favorited, which off of 661 is actually really good. That's more than 2-to-1 ratio of favorites to designs. So when I scroll up, I'm going to sort the designs by most relevant. Now that's what comes up normally, but it doesn't have to be. You could see best selling, most relevant. I just leave it on most relevant. This shows me what Redbubble thinks is the best selling design. So that includes favorites, it includes sales, that kind of thing. Okay, so here's the top 10 designs, okay, based on what Redbubble thinks. So I don't want to pick these apart, because if Redbubble is saying these are the most relevant and you've got likes and favorites on here, then great. So what I would suggest is, my first big, sort of advice is take a look at these top 4 rows and ask yourself, is there anything in here that you could make more of? Is there anything here you could make more of? The one thing I've noticed about these 4 rows of designs is they're all completely different. Like if you said to me like a test, like what is the same about them? I'd be like, I have no idea. There's a flower. That's about it. There's like text and then a picture, text and a picture. But like this is a silhouette. This is butterflies. This is a silhouette. This is a cartoon, pattern, heart, but there's no more than 2 of any one design. So I would encourage you to look at what's been favorited and then make more of those. So it's very easy to see how many people have liked and favorited. I've got this little kind of a dummy account set up here. So I'm just going to go into my account and I'm going to go into manage portfolio. I know people always ask me like, what's your Redbubble account? This is not my Redbubble account. I've just set this up, which is just like for teaching. So here's my actual like designs. Okay. So you can see these little money sign here. It's like a money and a 0. Well, these would be like if I made a sale. And then the little hearts is if something is favorited, that would show up as well. So you can look through and you can see what's been favorited and what's been sold. You can also go into your activity feed and you can see activity of people. I just put this account live, so there's not a lot of activity here. I also don't have very many images as well, but you would see like an activity feed. So-and-so bought your work, so-and-so favorited your work. So in my real Redbubble account, I go in and I check like almost every day, is somebody favoriting my work? Is somebody buying something? You get an email as well. So that might be helpful as well. Okay, so let's continue along here. From an artistic perspective, I'm going to be picky on some of the things from an artistic perspective, and I hope nobody listening takes offense, because look, art is art and you're supposed to create what you like. So I'm certainly not judging these on an artistic merit, saying this art stinks and how dare you make this. It's more coming from a place of, if you're trying to make sales, sometimes the tiniest changes can be the difference between making a sale and not making a sale. So here's just a couple things that I would take a look at. So here, for example, camping with my dog sticker, okay? Chances are, and I know this is right near the top, so forgive me if you don't agree with the advice, that's totally okay. If you're getting a lot of likes on this, then continue making more. But if it's near the top and you're not getting a lot of likes, consider changing the text if you're really in love with the graphic, or changing the graphic if you're really in love with the text. So I think about, like, for example, why would somebody buy these stickers, right? So like, for example, just take this one, starred dove on blue sticker. Why would somebody buy this? And I don't mean that to sound snarky or rude. I'm honestly asking the question, like, that's the thought process that we go through, is why would somebody buy the sticker? Would they put it on their bike helmet? Would they put it on their like their binder at school? Like that kind of thing, okay? So you want to ask yourself these questions, right? So like, for example, future gardener with a cat on it. This is a good idea, but I would actually get rid of the cat. I know that kills me to say that because I love cats, and I'd be like, oh, but future gardener would be like, if I was wearing that t-shirt, it would probably look good on like a baby's onesie or a kid's t-shirt or a sticker that you'd put on something. But the cat changes the meaning of it, because if you don't like cats, you're not going to buy this, right? So this is like, this sticker could be a bit confusing because somebody's looking at it thinking, well, is the cat the future gardener? Because if so, why would I have a sticker that has a picture of another person's cat on it, right? So as much as I love cats, I generally don't take photographs of cats. I generally use clip art. So for example, here, a smile is priceless. You've got clip art, which is, I think, good. Now, again, why would somebody buy this, right? And again, you want to ask yourself that question. Are they buying it to put on their fridge? Are they buying it to put on their like a binder or a water bottle, that kind of thing? So you want to ask yourself that question. So here, like, I'm chilling while he's grilling. You may want to think of the customer. Why would somebody buy a sticker with a barbecue on it? How about world's okayest cook? How about certified burger burner? How about world's greatest chef? Something like that, because somebody would buy that thing, oh, that makes a great gift for my husband, my son, my wife, my daughter, whatever it is, right? Here's one. It says, think different, think coffee, but there's no picture of coffee on it. Like, there's like, you might want to put like a coffee mug on there, because like there's all this black space, and it's like, well, Why do you have think different, think coffee, but then there's no coffee on there? And again, none of this is to sound mean. It's what I'm trying to do is illustrate the thought process that a client would go through when they're coming on this into the store. Here's one I like, full of hot air, and there's a picture of a balloon. You may want to just remove the balloon and put full of hot air, circular design or square design, and that's it. Because somebody would buy that as a joke for their friend, like, oh, my buddy's a windbag, here you go, here's a sticker. Like, a lot of stuff on Redbubble are gag gifts. And what I mean when I say gag gifts is it's like a joke. You're buying, like, world's stinkiest bathroom sticker or something, or like a t-shirt that says, sorry I farted. And you're kind of going like, who's buying these designs, right? And the answer is somebody who's like going to a frat party or it's buddy's 18th birthday and they're looking for a cheap t-shirt that's so ridiculous that they'll be the life of the party and they'll pick up the chick and go on the date. Like, it's like that's the idea behind a lot of these gifts on Redbubble. So, like, again, too hot, like, this is a great idea, but I would recommend like 2 on the top, hot on the bottom, and then make the sun really big. There's all this white space on the design and it doesn't look super dynamic. I'm just going to go here to the next page. And you know what? I give you credit for asking for feedback, because if you're not getting a lot of sales, then you know that there's areas to improve. Here's another one. One day, just what I needed. And it's like, unless that phrase is related to a TV show or a movie or something, it doesn't necessarily make, I don't want to say it doesn't make sense, but it's not necessarily hard hitting that it's instantly understandable, right? So it's like, here's another one, soon to be daddy, but there's all this white space underneath, right? And so you may want to like just work on like something as simple as like centering designs. Here's a great one, for example. I love how this design is like a circle, but it's not really a circle. It's like a round, but it's like a crest. I love that. And it's centered. It's great. That's a great looking design. Here's another one, happy. One new status symbol, but it's like, it's centered, but it's like, I don't understand what the actual saying means. So I'm not saying they don't mean anything. What I'm saying is, as a client, I'm looking at this going, I don't understand why somebody would buy that design. I understand why somebody would buy soon to be daddy, but then I would have like maybe something that looks like centered, and like the text would be a bit bigger. So you might be running into some technical limitations on your designs, and you may, like, I don't know what program you're using, but you may want to work on, say, centering, looking into some extra free fonts that you can get. For example, like there's a site called DaFont or 1001fonts.com, that sort of thing. So like, here's another one that just says quality, and it's like, why would somebody buy that sticker? And again, I'm honestly asking, would they put it on a notepad? Would they put it on their fridge? And if that's the case, then great, but maybe you'd make more of them then with different colors, different fonts. I like these patterns. These are pretty cool. And so I would certainly make more of what's trending in your store. And what I mean by trending is having more of what is being favorited and what is being liked. So I hope you found that helpful. Just a couple tips and tricks here for the store. I don't want you to lose all hope. Really what's happening is you're in this situation where your store is relatively new. You've got a lot of designs, and it does take time to sort of worm these into the Google search algorithms, the way the internet works. I mean, you've been up now for maybe April, May, June, July, like 4 months. So you're not going to get a ton of sales right away, because people who are searching for stuff, you would want, you'd really want to look at what people are searching for. Okay, so like, for example, like, are people actually searching for summer play it? Is that a phrase that is on a TV show? It's in a movie? Because if it's not, then no one's going to search for it. So anyway, I hope you found that helpful. I think you're doing a lot of things right on the store. You certainly have a lot of quantity, right? 661 designs is great. I love your collections. I would encourage you to go in to your store, click on Manage Portfolio, look at what's been favorited, and then make more of those, because it's the universe telling you they like those designs. I hope you guys found that helpful. As always, feel free to click the like button, click the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching.